everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I am from OML Embroidery. And in this video, we're going to do an introduction to PE Design 11. I finally got my hands on this. I've been waiting for a long time. And it's kind of cool. There's a lot of little changes and some really big ones that are awesome. The first thing I noticed is that there's new shapes, and I thought this was kind of awesome. So let's try the gingerbread guy, which is awesome. Look, that's pretty cool. The next thing that's huge is this flexible spiral stitch, and I kind of like this. I think it's really neat. So this is basically the ripple stitch. The cool thing about it is that if you go here into node mode, see the green cross there? You can move it and change the focal point. So you can get really, really good different looks out of it. Now you have to play around with it just a little bit, but you can start the spiral start point, end point. You can change it to start here or start outside. So that's kind of cool. You can change the direction of it. Now, obviously it doesn't, work very well on this, but if you were doing a spiral, look down at the bottom here, you can change quite a bit. Underlay, I don't think we need. So you can change the width, the density, the corners, the whole bit. Spacing, now that will make a big difference on how you do it. Now, if you look at the picture down below, you can see which way it's going. So if we want it closer, there we go. And look, really cool effects. I love how it does it here. So that's one thing that's new. And there are a lot of things that we can change. So net fill stitch has changed, and I'm going to show you guys this decorative fill stitch in just a minute. So that's one thing, just the big things that have, stood out to me for sure. So there's quite a bit going on, but like there's more images, there's more things to play with. I think there are 1,000 embroidery designs included in with the program, and I think there's more alphabets too, so, and a couple more big things. So let's drag in this fish, and I'm going to show you a really cool new feature right here. It's called background fill. Super happy with this. This is so much fun to play with. I did a design and I was so happy with it. I shared it in the OML embroidery group. So we've got Echo Fill, and if you look up here, it tells you what it does. Echo Fill is really cool. You can do your stippling fill, and you can go to the decorative fill. And there's one more crosshatch, which is cool. Sometimes simple is fun. So let's go to the decorative fill. And before you do anything, you see my next isn't available. You have to click on the background. So it's going to fill in the size of the hoop that you're using. So let's go to next. And the first one that comes up happens to look absolutely fantastic with Mr. Fish. And I think that's really cool. But wait, there's more. Look at all these designs that come with it, and some of them are absolutely gorgeous. So basically, this is time saving. This is a huge time saver. In other programs, you have to bring it in, bring the background in, cut out holes. Oh, you have to inflate it. You have to do it, everything like that. There's usually about 6 or 7 steps to make it like this. This one is just one, and you can sit and enjoy all of these. This so far is my favorite, so I'm going to select that one. Click OK. Now look, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? There are a lot of things you can change on it. Now the offset spacing is the offset from the fishy. So you can make it further away, and you got to go update preview, or you can bring it down a little bit closer. update preview. Whichever you prefer, I'm going to leave it like that because I think it's really cool. So exclude internal patterns. You don't want anything like, for example, the eye here is blank. You don't want that to show through because otherwise we look like we have a see-through fish. If you wanted that, then you could, but not for this one. So all we have to do now is click OK, and look, boom, bada boom, you have really cool design just like that. And I think the quilting designs are fantastic. So I am pretty happy with that. I think it's really easy to do, and I think it's a lot of fun. So let's get rid of our fish. Let's look at another big thing that they've changed, and this is awesome. So let's go to option, and we're going to go right here, Stitch Design Factory. Yeah, doesn't that sound cool? Well, hold your horses because it really is. This is where you can create your own stitches, your own motif stitches. And what I like about it, this reminds me actually a lot of McDreamy. And this is how you set up the stitches in McDreamy. So there's lots to do here. It really is a stitch factory. So you can go different. You've got options. You can bring in your own decorative stitch. Let's do that. Let's go down here and let's pick the snowflake, I guess it is. So snowflake. All right, that's cool. So yay. All right, we've got a stitch here. That's nothing new. But you can go in and adjust it as much as you want. So if you want them closer, further apart, you can, you know, play around with it and make it exactly what you want. So I'm going to make it a little further apart because I'd like to add this one in. And click, there you go. So maybe back down a little bit. So how cool is that? This is precision work. And I think I could probably sit and play with this all day. Now, the other options you have, you can create your own. You can start again. Let's start again. So save changes, no. You can create your own. And what you type, what you select on here, now I've made a mess already, but you can see it changes with every move. Isn't that cool? I really like that. Double click to finish. And I think it's really neat. You right click to back up. Let's get rid of that just for fun. All right. So, and the other thing you can do is select the pen. Really cool if you have pen and tablet. You can draw your own stitches. Now I'm just left clicking and holding. If you had a pen, that would work out really well. Okay, what a mess. We're going to have to adjust that, but I'm just playing around with it. So you can zoom in, zoom out. You can select object to zoom if you get really complicated. You can pan around and look around. The other thing you can do is change it from a single stitch to a triple stitch, and you can see the lines get bolder on it. So the other thing you can do is swap, so you can reverse the order of the selected points. So that's cool. Flip vertical, flip horizontal, duplicate, and you can delete it if you don't like it. So I'm thinking that's really cool. I'm thinking that is a lot of fun. And if you saw on the picture when it opened, there's a lot of stitches. The sky's the limit, I'm thinking. Look at all these. Oh, it's so pretty. Reminds me a lot of working on McDreamy, which I think is really cool. Satin stitches. So you could make some really awesome designs, and it's super easy to create your own on here. So yeah, I'm giving 2 thumbs up for the Stitch Design Factory. So save changes, no. So there's also been a few other stitches added, the chain stitch and the net fill. We can go over that. The net fill would, I think, be a really good kind of smash down stitch, knockdown stitch, nap holding stitch. But there is one more big thing that I think is really, really cool. Font creator. I don't know if you guys knew that there was a font creator built in. And what this can do, standard character height. Now, I'm going to have to make another video and we're going to have to go over this, how to do this. I think it's really awesome. So you can bring in your alphabets. For example, the alphabets that Dawn has been giving out daily for free. So the Christmas one or the Holly one, you can bring them in and assign them a key. So then they become keyboard fonts. That is new, and I think that's really awesome. So this looks more complicated than it is, but I'm thinking this is going to be really cool. So once you bring in, that was the other thing, you can bring it in letter by letter, or you can bring in a whole set of files, which I think is really cool too. That's a big time saver. You can make sure that every letter is perfect and perfectly sized, you know, fits in what size that you want. You can do some different things. You can change the point, flip it, you can align it. You can also browse the characters that are available. Obviously, we don't have any. And you can add and remove characters, which I think it's really cool. So if you want to create an alphabet that doesn't have any numbers, you just remove them and they won't work. It'll come up with nothing. The other thing you can do is convert from true type font. And I think that's really neat. Converts a template of a true type font to a custom font character pattern. So the only thing you need to remember if you're bringing in lettering, that it's still a stitch file. So the idea of this, you bring it in at the size that you want, make sure the bottom line is the same, so when you type it, everything's the same, and don't resize it. So cool. But you could make curves, you can make circles, you can follow along the line. That will work perfectly. So that is a huge addition to it. So all those alphabets that you have to bring in one at a time, yeah, this is going to be your go-to software for that. It's absolutely fantastic. You don't need to do anything. So let's look at the text here. So we've got regular text, and I'm pretty sure they've added a few fonts to it. Monogram text, and this right here is where your alphabet texts are going to show up. It's called user mapped text. And they've got some as an example, and if I zoom in right here, you can see it's UM. So that's another thing, is that they did filters. But see, I was playing around with it and I tested one of them and it works. So this is one that I created and brought in the letters for it and saved it, and I called it testing. So I'm thinking this is pretty cool that you can bring in different things. Let's try it. And so I selected it, user made, and we're gonna go, oh, they're huge. Okay, well, see, and you can't change it. So let's just do an O. And that is an absolute gorgeous O. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I'm really happy with that. So that is going to be something that we are going to be working on and creating our own font. So that's going to be some fantastic classes. That is going to be so much fun. So we can work on that and create our new things, and I'll show you guys how to put Dawn's fonts in there and set everything up, and that is going to make your decorating, your stitching so much easier. So there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of good changes. I find the software a little bit faster, a little bit better. I don't have as many glitches. And I like, you can change the colors, but those two main things I'm pretty happy with. The other thing that is really cool, but I don't have, is send to network machine. So this is designed for the Luminaire, the newest one, which I don't have. Hashtag brother send me one please. That you can send it wirelessly. So that is a huge thing. Hopefully they'll start making other machines that you can send wirelessly to. I have McDreamy plugged in. You just buy an extension cord. I have it on the other side. It's quite far away, and it still works just fine like that. I just got an extension cord. However, the technology of it thrills me. I think that's really exciting. But again, I don't have one, so I can't show you guys any of this, but I do think the technology is really cool. So lots of other things to work on. This is just a brief introduction to it. For me, the upgrade was a little bit expensive here in Canada. I'm not sure about other pricing. I looked around and I couldn't find anybody who had it in stock or anybody who had prices available on it, so I'm not really sure. But through the main things, and I'll be showing you guys more and more, that you can decide if this is what you want to do. I have to finish setting up my ribbon, and I am going to be playing around with it a little bit more to come up with some really cool things to do. So far, my favorite, I think, is the background fill. I could play with that forever. I'm going to stitch one out and see how it is. And probably the alphabet edition. I think that's actually really cool too. And I'm pretty sure they've added in a few more lettering fonts. So that's the other thing too. I forgot about this. This right here is going to be pretty cool. It's a font filter. So you click on that and you can search all your fonts a whole lot easier. So that's just another time-saving thing. But look, all the fonts that you get. Isn't that fantastic? There are a ton of them. Absolutely. So you shouldn't have any problems doing any kind of lettering. And it lets you know the ones that are numbered are digitized already. And then we will have true type fonts and different ones like that. And of course, your ones that you create will show up there too. So I think I read somewhere to convert to blocks is a whole lot better. I think it retains the angle lines on it. So when you're converting true type font or a text pattern, as they call it, I think it'll work that much better on it. So pretty happy. There'll be more things. I will do another video and fill you guys in with any of the little stuff that I find. But those are the biggest ones. It's all about the luminaire and being wireless to that and working in conjunction with that. Oh, also, don't worry, scan and cut, none of this has changed. So you can still send to your scan and cut or to the canvas workspace. So if you bought the new DX cutter, you can still use it in the same way. So it's all about convenience. It's all about shortcuts. Again, I really think this background fill is an amazing shortcut that is going to be really helpful and a whole lot of fun. We'll be playing around with that and making adjustments. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this introduction to PE Design 11 and a few of the big things that have changed. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!